Torah portion that we read this week is known as Massei Travels. Eila Massei B'nai Israel. It lists the travels, the places where we encamped, where we traveled to, where we traveled from during our 40 years in the desert. And the Torah goes through a detailed list of each place. And the Rambam in his famous book, Moreh Nevuchim, explains that the reason why the Torah goes through all of these travels and all of these places is to tell us that God had a specific plan. Even though the Torah tells us that in some places we stayed for a few months, some places we would stay even for less than 24 hours. Whenever God gave us the sign, we moved forward, we traveled faithfully. The Rambam explains that the expression, the popular expression, the Jews wandered in the desert for 40 years. That's wrong. We didn't wander. We traveled in the desert, and God had a very specific goal and specific plan in each of the travels. Now, we didn't know the plan, but God had a plan, and we followed faithfully. Right now, we're in non-traveling mode. COVID-19 has put us into a halt. But here too, we started coming out, we start expanding, and then we have to come back into our houses again, back into quarantine. Yes, masks, no masks. And every single city and every single location, every single state, and Eretz Yisrael, they're dealing with this back and forth. Quarantine, no quarantine, in, out, in, out. It seems so haphazard. We are dazed, but it is not disorganized. In our minds it is. We don't know. We can't figure this out. But the Rambam reminds us God has a very specific plan. Let us then, just as our ancestors committed to God faithfully, Eila Massei B'nai Israel, these are the travels of the Jewish people. We need to faithfully accept and trust in God in the non-travels. May Hashem bless us and give us the strength to have faith in Him, trust in Him, pray to God for the lifting of this confusion, lifting of this virus, but at the same time to be filled with faith and appreciation that everything that happens, as Maimonides writes in Moreh Nevuchim, is a product, is a directive that emerges from God's love. Have a beautiful Shabbos.